Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing something that's been a slightly tough pill for me to swallow. So as some of you may know, I have been cubing for nearly 10 years now. 2016 December was my first ever competition. And since I started cubing, I have competed in 47 competitions as of this weekend. And I have had something called a PR streak, which is a personal record streak, which is basically the number of competitions that you've attended with a PR broken in some event or the other at every single competition. And until this weekend, I had a streak of 46 competitions. And I've been to 47, like I said. So yeah, that streak is over and it's been 10 years since I've had it. I've known about it for, I would say, the last 12 or maybe 15 competitions. And yeah, it's pretty sad because this is something I was really going for. I was really gunning for, honestly. I will say I took a pretty big risk this month where I tried to attend 5 competitions in 5 weekends and I failed on my 4th. I had my streak going for the first 3 competitions, but then the competition this weekend and the one coming up next weekend, well, I don't know what's going to happen there. But this weekend, yeah, I couldn't maintain my streak, mostly because the events were FMC and blindfolded. And of course, I went there willingly. I'm not making excuses. I really thought I could break my blindfolded PR there, but evidently not. It's a little sad because, like I said, I've put in a lot of effort towards it and it just suddenly feels impermanent. And I know it's a really hard thing to do. I believe the national record, it's actually held by my friend Krishant, who was actually at this competition as well. It's really funny. He had 51, which is really cool. But yeah, I stopped at 46, so that's where that ends. The world record is still held by Anthony Patarakis with 91, which is just like, bro, I think the next person's at 81 or 82, so yeah, 91 competitions is insane. But anyway, that being said, I would like to get into this video and discuss my cubing journey over the last month and talk about my thoughts about this whole thing and how I'm envisioning the future of my own cubing career. So first off, let's discuss the competition results. So in this 5-weekend series of competitions, my first weekend I had Karnataka Cube Open in April 2026. Of course, we're still in that month. This was at the starting of April, I believe 5th of April. This comp was a fairly okay comp, like it was mid. My 3x3 performance was good, like solid 8 averages all the way through. 2x2 was my only PR with a 255 average. 2x2, honestly, my performance in this comp, I'm really happy with. I had 2-2-2-2-2 in the first round and 2-2-2-3-2 in the final. I do average like mid to low 2 now that I use EG1. I grinded EG1 for this competition and it paid off. I got a 255 average and I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that was really nice to get. That PR kind of made it really good at the comp. I had like a more calm, composed feel throughout 3x3, which is why I just got good averages throughout 3x3. Pyraminx was like fine, okay, it's Pyraminx and Scube, same story. Scube I could have podiumed honestly, but I got a 7-3 average in the final. No one's talking about that because we shouldn't. But yeah, this comp was a really good experience and I got 1 PR. So in a way, I kind of just saved it with that PR, but this was like really early in the competition, so it didn't feel like I had just saved the PR streak. But yeah, that is my only PR from this competition, so I guess that's something to note. But after this, the next weekend, I had Bangalore Cube Fest C. So this was a series competition. This is on the 12th of April. And this competition, I went in with fairly low expectations, I would say. I didn't have anything like crazy planned. I was just grinding big cubes because I love big cubes. I main big cubes. So honestly, I did okay. 3x3 908 average is really bad. But there was only 1 round of 3x3. So it's not like I could have made that any better. I am not really that mad about it. For 4, 5, and 6, I think I did good. I finally broke the sub 30 barrier on 4x4 at this competition. That's something I've been trying to do for like over a year because I've done it many times at home. But in competition, it's really dependent on parity, which is kind of sad because that's like skill issue, bro. Come on. Yeah, I got a 29.99 average, which is my, of course, PR at the time. Well, still my PR. This is really funny because I only had 2 sub 30 solves, but I counted a 28, which is how that happened. 28, 30, 30 was my counting, and one of the 30s was low, so that's how it helped. But yeah, 29.99 average. Finally, a sub 30 4x4 average officially. I can go to sleep at night. I can't actually because my PR streak's gone. And then 5x5, I got a 57.87 average in the first round, 59.54 in the final. I really messed up the final here. I should have done so much better because I had 52.54 in the middle, but I just could not focus towards the end, and I got a 1 flat at the end. 6x6 went really well. I got a 141 mean with a 133 single. Now, I will say I averaged pretty much exactly this at home, like literally. My PB single at home was like a 131 and my PB mean was like a 139, 140. So literally like just above my PBs, which is, I'm totally okay with that. And yeah, overall this competition was good. I got 3 podiums, 2 silvers and a gold. And yeah, the PR streak carried on. I was so happy to break the 4x4 average. Honestly, like sub 30 is like a pretty big barrier. And now I'm like happy to say that, you know, if you look at my profile and you look at the big cubes, it's all like 4x4 sub 30, 5x5 sub 1, 6x6 Well, almost sub 140, but yeah, sub 2, sub 3, but sub 140, sub 232, sub 235 for 7x7. So the stats are up there now, which is nice. But honestly, that was a little bit of a spoiler because my next competition, which was on April 18th and 19th, This was a big cube comp. Big cube comp, always fun. I mean, honestly, like I said, I love big cubes. So 3 rounds of every big cube. This is something that I'm so happy that was organized. It was organized by my friend Gaurav and the team at Cubing, who are absolutely my favorite team in the country. They're so good at what they do. They organized this competition and I went there. I got a 4x4 PR single, which is really funny. I believe that was actually PLL parity, which is ironic. But yeah, that was just, I think it was a pretty nice start to the scramble. Like I could find my cross edges really quickly. 30, 30, 31 on my averages in 4x4. 5x5, my averages were really poor, but I did get a PR average in the second round, so I'll take that. Now, you do need to keep in mind, 3 rounds of big cubes is not easy on your hands or on your mind. By the time we were at the third round, I feel like my performance had degraded a lot. I mean, as you can see by my 5x5 performance, I had a 1 flat average with a counting 104 in the final. That's just crazy. So yeah, anyway, then 6x6, I got a 140 PR mean. So got it down from 141 to 140 in the week right after that. I'm very happy with that. 143, 145. Now the final I came 4th and I like, okay, it's fine. I don't think I missed it by like a small margin, which is good because that means I don't feel that bad. It's fine, we'll take that. Singles were all like 36, 37, 38. Like that's fine. It's at this point I got a 133 single at the comp before this, so that's fine. 7x7 was a really good performance for me. My PB single at home is 223 and my PB average at home is 227. So 232, 226 I will take because 7x7 it's much harder to maintain composure when you're solving. And I almost had pops on my, well, not in the first round. First round was clean solving all the way through. I was locked in, it was the morning, I was awake, I was there. I had not eaten the biryani yet, I was good. And then the 242, 240, honestly, still great performance for me. I think I performed really decent at this competition, given a lot of things and given the fact that there were 3 rounds of all the big cubes. I think I did well. Of course, my 5x5 and 4x4 finals were pretty bad averages, like 31 is not great and 1 flat is not great. But yeah, I average 30 on 4x4, it's not far from it. But 5x5 I do average like 55, 56. So this is where I should be in like the second round performance, but whatever, we'll take it. This comp was 2 podiums, so fine. I missed out on one of the 6 or 7 podiums by like a little bit, but it's fine, it's not a big deal anyway. That brings me to competition number 47. So far we've had 44, 45, 46. The PR streak has gone up from 43 to 46 in 3 weeks, which is really good. That was really nice progress towards the goal, which is to get the NR PR streak. And then I didn't. I honestly, a little bit of a story time here. I was considering not going to this competition for the longest time because on this weekend, I kind of just wanted to chill. But I was really ambitious at the start of the month when this was announced that maybe if I go to it, I could get my PR streak from 43 to 48 in literally 1 month. That takes me 3 spots away from the national record over a month. And every single one of these competitions had relatively different events. Now, of course, big cubes were kind of common in the last 2 competitions, but that's besides the point. Big cube improvement for me is just grinding. Like I just need to practice. I have decent look ahead, I have decent like technique. But if I don't practice, then my times drop to like 245, 250 on 7x7, which is not great. But if I practice, it drops to low 230, which is what happened at the comp. The events at this competition were FMC and 3x3 blindfolded. Now, as you may have realized, I don't main either of those events. So coming to this competition with the goal of an NRPR streak was already a major risk. However, I did not view it that way because I didn't want to pressurize myself to only go to competitions with the goal of continuing my PR streak. I will have to say though, mentally, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself. And that's the part that I'm kind of here to talk about, which is don't. So at this competition, I literally got 1 3-blind success, which was a 104. I thought that was a better solve. It should have been, it was only a 9-alg solution. So for anyone who does 3-style on 3-blind, that's literally like very good. But I went too safe. Got a 104. I got a podium, but honestly, this should have been like a low 50 because I went too safe. I should have just done 1 pass memo and just solved the cube. It would have been fine. But yeah, and then I thought to myself, maybe if I lock in on my last 3 solves, I can get a good average. So I could break my PR average, and my PR average for blind is trash. It's 128. By the way, trash is because I have a 53 single. I should have like a 1 average. Not saying it's trash for everyone. So 128 is bad for me. And I could have had I gone absolutely safe, I would have still got a 115 average because my safest solves are like 115. So that should tell you how safe this 104 was. So yeah, I was honestly so bummed out because I couldn't focus on my last 3 solves at all. And there is a reason, because 3-blind was the last event of the competition. There were only 2 events, I know. The last round, the last everything of the competition And those 5 solves, I had to do everything because in FMC, I wasn't able to break any PRs. I got a 31 single, 35 average in the final, which is good. 40, 43, don't come at me. I did not sleep the night before this comp. Maybe that's why I didn't get the PR streak continuing, but that's fine. I don't blame it on that because I've always been able to hold my composure and lock in during competitions. At this competition, I simply could not lock in for 3x3 blindfolded. And that is a consequence of me not practicing and has nothing to do with sleep because genuinely, if I practice 3 blind, I feel like my success rate is fairly decent. Anyways, besides the point, I could not hold my PR streak, and for that reason, this page now shows current streak 0. Yep, 46 competitions, and we're done. In an almost poetic fashion, my 47th competition was the one that broke it. And I say that's poetic because a lot of my friends call me AK. So as in because my name's Akshansh and Akshansh is too long, so they're like AK. My 47th competition, I could not hold my PR streak. And so a 9.5 year journey of breaking a personal record every single competition comes to an end. And it is sad. It is fairly devastating because I feel like there were a lot of things going on in my life even before this competition, and somehow I was always able to push through these things, and I felt like I still was able to, but yeah, somehow the PR streak did not happen, probably because of the events. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what to say. Now for the last part of the video, where I would like to talk directly to anyone who is aspiring to have a PR streak. You have to remember one thing. Cubing is at the end of the day a hobby and a sport, no doubt, but it is something you do as a way to unwind. It is something you do as a way to connect with other like-minded people. It is something you do as a way to feel competitive, to feel motivated, to feel passion, to feel like, I really want this. But always remember that you cannot be driven by a goal that is solely dependent on the act of cubing. Your goals should be more holistic and maybe more realistic, considering I don't know how I expected to have this PR streak national record, but okay, that's fine. But yeah, try and keep your goals more holistic. Do not get carried away by the fact that if you don't perform well in a competition, it's bad. And this is something I'm telling myself. I'm not trying to be hypocritical here. I have been very kind of harsh on myself after this competition. Not in a bad way, just mentally I felt really sad and dejected that something I've worked so hard towards, and there's no way to restart this. This 0 you see on the screen literally means from my next competition, which is actually coming this weekend in Hyderabad, that will be 1 again if I get a PR. It won't be 47 ever again until I get there again, which is very unlikely because as you improve at cubing, maintaining a streak is harder and harder. So naturally, because your times are better, so improvement takes longer and etc. Do not go to a cubing competition just for the results. The results are a consequence of enjoying the process. Let them come as a consequence of enjoying the process. Don't put yourself under this lens that I am not worthy if I don't perform to that level. Like I said, that's something I'm working on now. Yeah, in a way, I do feel okay, now my competitions are gonna be a little more relaxed. I won't be thinking about PRs at all. Of course, I still want to break PRs, there's no doubt about that. But I can't lie, a small part of me does kind of go to sleep with this streak because, yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, it's something I've worked really hard on, and cubing is something I've always devoted a lot of time and attention to. And I think that it's worth it, and it still is worth it. But I think it would be meaningless if there wasn't a part of me that felt like it died with this streak. But I will also say that that doesn't mean I'm quitting cubing. What this means for the future of my cubing career is that I need to be less harsh on myself. I need to be more accepting of the fact that cubing has its ups and downs like any sport, and that I am capable. I am capable of doing good things, great things in cubing, whether that's through YouTube, through education, through outreach, through competitions, through organizing, through any of these processes. And I truly believe that this won't affect my kind of outlook and my future in the cubing kind of scene. But you should know that the streak is over and that I need to lock in, because I do want to finish top 3 in India by the end of this year for some of ranks, average and single. But for that, I do have to practice side events. So guys, please help me practice side events. I don't know how to do that stuff, but that's all for this video. I'm sorry this became a really long rant, but I hope you get my point. Do not go to a cubing competition with the main goal of getting results. Go there with the goal to have a good time. The results coming as a consequence of good time will always feel good. The results that come as a consequence of focusing on results may not always feel good. And you want to feel good doing the thing you love. So focus on making friends when you go to a competition. Focus on helping out. Focus on having fun. Focus on eating biryani if you're at a Hyderabad competition. Focus on the things that truly matter because the other things will come as a consequence of it. It's part of the package. So practice hard, grind hard at home, do your best in competitions, lock in when you're solving. I'm not trying to take away from that fact. Absolutely lock in when you're solving. But remember, the competition is there for you to experience it as a whole and not just the solves. So yeah, that's all for this video. The PR streak restarts, I guess. So let's see where I can take it this time. And yeah, I will focus on improving my results at all the events, and hopefully I will get there sooner rather than later. And I will see you in the next video. Do leave any comments you have, and I'm sorry if this video was too deep or anything, but low-key this was like a very big thing for me. So yeah, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will be coming out with a lot more content through the next few weeks. So do stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and peace.